Hi, my name is Karma. Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be touring the final product of my autumn citycore island, Momiji. I've been working on this island for 11 months now. I started it back in September of 2021, and although the game may say that it's currently November 2021, I promise you I didn't do all this in 2 months. It took me forever. But just yesterday, actually, I did finally finish it, and I'm getting ready to reset, but first I'm wanting to show you all around it and share the dream address with you guys so you can come and visit it and tour it yourself anytime that you'd like. So I'm gonna start off by showing you guys the map. As you can see, it's not anything particularly special, although it is mostly covered in paths, which I suppose is to be expected given that it is a citycore island. My villagers are Kiki, Lopez, Chief, Pashmina, Punchy, Poppy, Tasha, Rudy, Raymond, and Carmen. And you can also see the dream address right there on the screen. It will also be available in the description below for you to get for yourself anytime that you'd like. So now on to the actual tour itself. We're starting off here at the entrance where we've got a fountain in the middle and just this general main plaza sort of area, although it's not technically the actual plaza, but we've got this arch. Over here you can take this pathway past this little pond and the bus stop, or you could head up toward resident services, or you can head off to the left past the apartments and this laundromat. We're gonna start off by going over to the right. Like I said, we'll be going past this bus stop, which is one of the first builds that I did, and I think it's very adorable. If we go this way, we also pass this little picnic area, and we're going to ignore that, as well as this cozy little seating area where two people can sit together just surrounded by plants and such in the middle of the city. It's a nice little getaway. Then if we go over here past the sewer pipe onto the beach, we see this gas station, and I know that it doesn't technically make a ton of sense to have a gas station on the beach, but I think it's really nice, and I wanted to include a gas station somewhere on my island, so I figured I might as well just put it here. Then we can take this little pathway up through the apple orchard and head up toward the neighborhood. So first on the right is Poppy's house. She runs the plant shop, and in her front yard is also a rock garden. This rock garden is fully functional, I'd like to say. There's 8 spaces available around each rock, and you can stand in these little crevices so that you won't be pushed back while hitting against the rocks. So I'm always happy to have parts of my island that are both cute and functional, and this is no exception. Then on the left is Kiki's graveyard. Now Kiki is a black cat, and she's very spooky, so I figured that since this is a fall island, we should have some element of Halloween, even though the whole island isn't Halloween themed. So I decided to put all the spooky vibes into Kiki's area by giving her this graveyard with this pumpkin arch and a few pumpkin plants within it as well. Then continuing on, here's Punchy's yard. He runs a little mini orchard that has all 4 fruits other than apples, since that has its own dedicated orchard. Punchy is Fruit Boy, as I call him. He got that nickname from my first island. He was one of my starter villagers, and as you may or may not know, the Lazy Starter House is themed around your island's native fruit. So he got a reputation for being rather themed around fruit, and so when I made him a permanent resident on this island, I gave him this little orchard. Then over on the left is Carmen's art supply store. She sells lots of different things, lots of paints and canvases, and over here is even a little cabinet full of spray paints and such. Then if we head up the hill a bit, we're met with Chief's house. He runs a record shop, although his shop is less of a small business and more of a yard sale, so it's rather scattered and messy. He's selling lots of records and record players and such, and it's very cute all around. Then across from that on this side is Lopez's vineyard. He's got grapes growing and bottles of wine as well, and inside, although you may or may not be able to see this in the dream address, he does have even more bottles and barrels of wine, as well as a counter where you can buy them. Then next up is Tasha's chocolate shop. She's selling several different kinds of chocolate, as well as a few things made of chocolate, such as this Yule cake and this donut. And over here there's also a display case full of lots of chocolatey desserts as well. Then over this way is Rudy's yard. He's got a little playground because I feel like that really fits with him. Although he himself is technically a jock, this playground really fits with his cute appearance and his play hobby. Then up the hill once again is Pashmina's Bread Bakery. She's selling lots of different kinds of bread, and over here behind the counter you can even see this brick oven where she bakes it herself. Then last but certainly not least is Raymond's Boba Cafe. He's got some tables and chairs where you can sit and drink your boba, as well as a counter where you can buy it, and there's even a couple dropped bobas that you can pick up yourself and just carry around while you're touring the rest of the dream address. Then finally, up at the top of the hill here is my very own house. I've got this little driveway with a car in it, and a little nice cozy front yard over here with a swinging bench, and some Halloween candy as well. Then to the left over here, we will pass this subway entrance, which takes you directly over to the shopping center, but we'll be touring that later. And then you can just head down these ladders into the mushroom forest. So as you can see, this is just a very cozy and almost sort of mystical mushroom forest where there's lots of trees and lots of giant mushrooms, as well as the campsite tucked nicely into this little area. And if you're wondering, the campsite villager is Stitches. I don't think you can visit him on the dream address, but I figured it's still nice to know who's in there. Then we continue on the path over here, and we see this soup and sandwich restaurant right in front of the museum, which is sort of sunken down into this little cliff. And you can see over here there's a little nook with lots of bookshelves, as well as a stand with some coffee over here. So now we can head past the dining area of the restaurant, and there's this little reception desk over here. Then of course the kitchen itself right over here. And if we head up this path, we can also see this little seating area on the peninsula with a fountain right here and a bench over there, as well as a cute little bicycle. Now connected right directly to the kitchen is this urban farm where everything's all nice and organized so that people from the restaurant can just come and get fresh ingredients with which they can make all the food for it. Then out down through here, we go past the coffee shop, which I know that it's kind of competing with Brewster, but it's still cute all the same. And by the way, fun fact, this was the very first build that I made on this YouTube channel, so if you'd like to view it, then I will put the link right up here in the corner, as well as down in the description. Then we can also pop past this little mini apple orchard with this picnic blanket and see this little post office on the beach. It's got lots of mail scattered everywhere from where people have dropped it, lots of mailboxes right here, and my very own mailbox right here. Then we can go back over this way behind this other neighborhood that we've got back here, and we can head up right along this street past the farmer's market, which leads us directly up to the shopping center. So we've got Nooks on the left and Able Sisters on the right, plus this little fountain with some bike racks right in the middle. And over to the right of Able Sisters is first of all this little warehouse and another subway entrance, which matches up with the one by my house. Then over here is also this bridge, which gives you a gorgeous view of Momiji's lake. I also saved my dream address during golden hour, so I feel like you get a particularly gorgeous view of the lake right at this time. And the other end of this bridge connects up to the neighborhood Chief's Yard, so since we've already toured that area, we're just going to be heading back down. And we can see over here to the right of Nook's Cranny, we've got another little seating area with lots of plants. As you can probably tell, I really like these sorts of areas. As well as a parking lot right here behind Resident Services, so there's several spots for cars to park, as well as another bike rack. And over here on the right, there's even some vending machines for you to grab some snacks and a drink if you'd like. And then we can head down past this little park area right next to the farmer's market, and then we can head between the laundromat and this neighborhood that we saw earlier, and see this little bike rental area. As you've already seen, there's a couple bike racks on this island, so if you're curious, this is where people and visitors and villagers can come and rent a bike and then just ride it around the island as they tour it. And then finally we're going to go up through this little laundromat, past our neighborhood back at the very beginning, and up toward Resident Services. So that concludes our tour. That's going to be all for today's video. I really hope that you guys liked this. I'm so happy with how this island turned out. I think it's adorable and gorgeous and just really uses themes correctly, as well as being a little bit of a challenge for me because I'm used to very natural builds. My first island was very natural, and this one was less so. It certainly had some more natural areas where I wanted to indulge in that side of things, but for the most part it was very urban, very straight. All the paths were very straight and perfect, and that's really not what I'm used to. But I think I did it pretty well. I hope you all agree, and I hope you all liked this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe, it would mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Karma out.